So Soto, the 98th Academy Awards take place on March 15th. They just recently released the nominees, and Sinners set a record with 16 nominations. That's friggin' insane.
Wow,
Which
that
you
that is crazy.
and you saw Sinners last year, and you ranked it as the best new movie that you saw in 2025, number one. So that might
Yeah.
bode well. That says a lot.
Yep. Yep.
And now that we've done all this movie challenge last year, and our love for movies slowly coming back, I need to ask you one simple question: are the Oscars still relevant? Like, does anyone care?
I mean, to me, they're not. Currently, they're not. They used to be. I know we'll talk about that a little bit more, but to me, they're not. It's just I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I never watched the Oscars for the red carpet. I think that there are actually people that do that. Um, aren't the Oscars going to like Hulu next year?
This year, this
Oh,
this
they're going to be on Hulu
they're going
this
to be on
year.
Hulu this year. Yeah, March
So
15th
they're
on
on a
Hulu.
streaming, like they're no longer like on a major network like broadcast.
Maybe, I don't know. I just know it's on ABC and streamed on Hulu. I'm reading that right now, so it's going to be on both. So yeah, for those who don't have Hulu, can still watch it if you have ABC. But
Yeah.
yeah, so obviously a lot of things are going to streaming services. So let me ask you, because like
Oh,
you, when I
yeah.
did watch the Oscars, and I'll get more into that, yes, I did not care about the red carpet, what they were wearing, all that stuff. To me, it was just about the winners, the losers, and all that. But here's a question: did we stop watching the Oscars because we fell out of love with movies when we left Blockbuster? Because that was kind of our year-long journey. Was that kind of a
Yeah.
part of it? Or is it just truly not relevant anymore? Like, does anyone even care? Because or are we just old because
Yeah.
we stopped watching it? Is that the reason we don't care? Is it us, Soto? That's kind of what I'm asking. I'm going to give you the floor, but is it us?
Well, I think all of it is kind of true. Um, when I left Blockbuster Video, and I don't know if you felt the same way too, and this is why we did what we did last year. Um, or towards the end of Blockbuster Video, I went from that whole I love movies thing to now movies just kind of represented my job, and I was liking my job less and less. And I was renting movies less and less towards the end because it was no longer it just no longer was giving me any joy. There was a lot of crap that was coming out too. It was late 2000s or early 2010s. Um, and so as soon as I left Blockbuster Video, I just kind of just went in a different direction, and I stopped watching movies, and I stopped getting as obsessed about movies as I was. Because I used to, like you, I used to watch the Oscars from a very young age. Um, and then I went through film school, and that was a big deal for me. I especially remember in film school watching one of the first movies that I'd seen at school was Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and I remember watching the Oscars and rooting for it and being happy that uh, it won Best Cinematography, and then it also won Best Foreign Film because, of course, you couldn't give Best Film because you know couldn't do that. But Best Foreign Film was the thing that it got. And I mean, I loved movies. I really did. I think the mix of disappointment of where my life went, and then getting stuck in a retail black hole, and then all that really soured me on movies for a long time. Plus, I, I always say this all the time. They're friggin' the Oscars are long. And you know how I feel about long things. I mean, baseball, sure, I allow baseball to be long, although it's shorter than it used to be. Like, I don't have time to sit around for the Oscars. And a lot of the Oscars towards the end there for me were all like running over, and it was just like unfunny and not interesting. And the movies were getting worse and worse. And, I'll be honest with you, I disconnected, just like I disconnected with all the movies and until I kind of refound them last year. So, to answer your question, I think it's all of it. Old, it's no longer like interesting. It was no longer interesting. It's too long. We fell out of love with movies. Our lives focused on other things, like TV shows, in particular. And I think that the overall relevance for the Oscars is just like anything else, is that there's just so many things asking for our attention all the time now. So you've got sports, you've got video games, which we do a lot of, a lot of other things that just are asking for your attention, and you've got to be able to be like, okay, I'm gonna compartmentalize this time, and I'm going to do this. And do I want to randomly spend a Sunday night watching the Oscars? Not really. And I mean, most of these movies, I don't have access to watching. I do have access to watching some of the bigger ones, but um, I felt like back in the day I could at least have access to seeing certain ones, but and it was kind of like oh, like you said earlier, just you were trying to see, oh, okay, I'm choosing this. It's like a sports thing. This my favorite movie's gonna win. Um, yeah, didn't I just didn't really feel it anymore. So
And I think I know for me where I kind of filtered off on the Oscars because, like you, I do remember, especially in the '90s, watching it and rooting for certain ones. Like for me, I always remember there was a movie, What Dreams May Come, a very
yes,
underrated Robin Williams film, and it hit me at a very important time in my life. But at the same time, we were watching it, and it won like best art direction. Obviously, it wasn't up for a lot of other things, and that even that excited me. But so I looked at like the best pictures throughout the years, and we're gonna get to what you've seen recently. But the last movie I saw that won Best Picture was from 2009 when I saw Slumdog Millionaire.
yeah,
It's been a while because I didn't even see The Hurt Locker. I think that's when a lot of things changed at Blockbuster. But the funny thing is, the following year, the Academy Awards did something a little different. They went from like 5 nominations for Best Picture to 10, which I think is
oh,
stupid. I think it's insane. I felt like, here, let's at least give people a participation trophy. Just be like, hey,
oh,
you got
jeez.
nominated, you got nominated. And I read, and I don't know how true this is, that they went from 5 to 10 because they used to be 10, like 8, 10, 12, like in the 30s and early 40s. And that was a different time. But there is a public outcry and around the 2008 ones because The Dark Knight was not nominated for Best Picture, wasn't even considered. And people are just pissed. Obviously, a lot of that has to do with Heath Ledger. And I'm like, yeah, it was I know our opinions on Dark Knight's a little different. I'm like, it was a fun comic book movie, but I'm like, it's not a
Sure.
Best Picture worthy movie. But because of that, they went
Yeah.
from 5 to 10, and I just felt like it was an oversaturation. Like, oh, we can't choose 5 best anymore. Let's go to 10. I'm like, no, 5 always seemed like, because it's 5 everything else. But now it's like all these movies can say, hey, we are Academy Award nominated. We are Academy Award
Yeah.
nominated. So many more can say. I just feel like it's a money making thing. Like they can put that tag on it.
Oh, for sure.
But I felt like that was something like that was like, why? There's no point, because usually there's only 3 or 4 that probably deserve it. I know there's been upsets throughout the year, but yeah, 10
Yeah.
seems a little absurd. So
I remember hating Crash in particular. That was like one of the winners back in
yeah,
the
it beat
day. You
Brokeback
that's a
Mountain.
blockbuster,
It beat
which
Brokeback Mountain.
I thought Brokeback Mountain was. I mean, it's another one of those movies I would never see again. But you watch it and you're like, this is clearly great. It's directed by Ang Lee, who directed Crouching Tiger. Um, and the performances were amazing. Heath Ledger's got a great performance. Um, Crash was like super cheesy and just a really not a good movie. I will never see Crash. I remember particularly hating that one. I think that was an upset, right?
Sure, I would say that was definitely an upset because, again, I think the favorite was Brokeback Mountain, and
Yeah.
I remember in the '90s, the first one, like the real upset as far as best picture, which shocked me, was Shakespeare in Love, because that beat Saving Private
I've never
Ryan.
seen that movie. I've never seen Shakespeare in Love.
It's not a bad movie. It was a fine romantic flick. Gwyneth Paltrow and I think Ray Fiennes. No, Joseph Fiennes, the younger brother.
Yes.
And I think that's the one where God, I can't remember her name. She's been in a lot of movies. She played M in like Bond, and I'm trying to get it come. But anyhow, she won Best Supporting Actress for Shakespeare in Love, and she was only in the movie for like 8 minutes. Eight
Wow.
minutes, and she won Best Supporting Actress. I got to pull that up. Judi Dench. Judi Dench was the one that I can't believe I forgot her name. It wasn't a bad movie. Just not a Best Picture over Saving Private Ryan.
But I mean, iconic, right? Like Forrest Gump is iconic.
It is.
Like John Travolta, Samuel Jackson, Pulp Fiction, iconic. Like,
So it's funny you bring up Forrest Gump and Pulp Fiction because I remember that's actually when I think I started watching the Oscars. Because I remember the whole thing was like obviously in our time, and we talked about Pulp Fiction a lot. You know, it was up a lot of awards and always against Forrest Gump and always losing to Forrest Gump. And I actually remember out of everything, the MTV Movie Awards, and it gave Pulp Fiction Best Movie of the Year. And I remember Quentin Tarantino was actually there to accept the award. And I don't know why his speech always stuck in my head. He's like, you know, you go to award shows after award shows to promote your movie, and you keep losing to Forrest Gump. What do? Come to the MTV Movie Awards. And it was just like he knows. Like Forrest Gump is iconic. It's a great movie. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, I mean, it always Pulp Fiction got its ass kicked all the time from Forrest Gump. But I remember because that came out when I really started a lot of film stuff in high school, and I think that's when I'm like, oh yeah, this is it. Because I remember a lot of people were debating even John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson, because John Travolta was nominated for Best Actor, Samuel L. Jackson Best Supporting Actor. But people were saying, well, in the scenes together, Samuel L. Jackson is more the lead, you know, like because he, you know, the two together. But John Travolta's in the movie more. So then they're like, well, what's best, you know? So I think there's a little debate there because they're like, is Samuel L. Jackson really supporting John Travolta? But no, that's kind of just when I get it. And I think throughout the 90s and even most of the 2000s, yeah, I watched them. Like you, I rooted for them. And you know, but I think just because of Blockbuster saw so many. So,
I mean, I wanted to know that my taste was like validated, right? When I cared about things like that, I wanted to know that like the taste that I had in movies was on the same level as like, you know, these kind of award shows. I never thought to myself, now that I'm older, how much of a money making scheme all this shit is. But yeah, I mean, it was fun for a time until it just was dumb. And you're right. Sometimes you have a questionable movie or actor or a nomination gets put in there, and you're like, you know what? I'm good. I don't want to watch this shit. You know, but had Anora not won all those Oscars last year, I probably wouldn't have seen it. So, you know, it's emotional, you know?
Because, like I said in the beginning, you saw Sinners, which obviously is far away leading all the movies this year in the awards and stuff like that. Most likely will win Best Picture. 16 nominations. Crazy. I mean, I think the last was like Lord of the Rings: Return of the King with 11 or 13 maybe. So this just you saw Anora, you also saw Oppenheimer, and you also saw Everything Everywhere All at Once. So you've seen and Sinners will be your fourth if it does win. But you've seen the last three Best Picture winners. Maybe not on purpose, but you saw them.
Yeah. Oppenheimer's the worst.
Yeah, we won't go through Oppenheimer again. But with the movies we saw, you know, last year, because you've also saw a couple of the nominated movies like Frankenstein and Train Dreams and stuff like that. So
wow, that was a surprise. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I think both not just for Best Picture, for other awards, but so I looked throughout all the awards. And I'm not just talking about Best Picture. I'm talking about like actor, actress, screenplay, all this. And there's a couple you like K-pop Demon Hunters. I know you saw up for Best Animated Film.
Yeah.
The big shock for me was like Wicked for Good, the sequel, was snubbed 0 awards when the first Wicked was nominated for 10 and nominated like not any costume song whatsoever. So out of everything, I saw one movie.
Wow.
And that was because Amy Mardigan is nominated for Best Supporting Actress for Weapons, which I know you saw too. That's the only film I saw. Nominated film I saw.
Wow. I did see Amelia Perez. I mean,
that's not before though. That was the last year's awards. I'm just talking about Academy Awards movies nominated this year.
Yeah,
this year, because you've seen 5 or 6. I might have missed 1 or 2 here because of that. So it's like I really don't care. You know, but again, is that me? I haven't seen any of these films. Like I said, you probably have more of an attachment because you've seen Sinners and you've seen a couple other nominated. And not that, you know, you're like rooting, but you even said Sinners was your number 1 movie that you saw last year.
One of the best movies I've seen in a long time. As I said when I was talking about it was one of the best movies that I've seen in a long time. I never, while watching it, thought to myself, "This is an Oscar movie." Not once, because I usually that's just my taste. It's kind of a horror movie.
Yes,
Actually, it's very much a horror movie
it
because
is a
half of
horror
it is
movie.
fucking
Uh-huh.
vampires.
Oh yeah.
So, like, I never thought to myself that was Best Picture. Now, when I was watching it, I was like, okay, this is a masterpiece, but it like personally, right? Like not like what you would conventionally think is Best Picture. I never thought that. Never did I think it'd be 16 nominations for it. That's insane because Lord of the Rings is one of my favorite movies of all time, and Return of the King got that many essentially to reward the entire series,
Correct.
like the trilogy.
Yes. No, I know.
So yeah, I mean, do I like Sinners more than Frankenstein? Yeah. Do I like Sinners more than Train Dreams? Definitely. Um, so I don't know. I mean, again, I think that it's already kind of caused some controversy because people are like, "Oh my god, Sinners," because it's like it's just it's not for everyone. Like with any genre movie, and especially a horror movie, like horror, is subjective, right?
Mhm.
And what this guy is trying to do. I think this guy is a great director. Ryan Coogler, I think his name is. I think he's nominated for Best Director too. Um, but I never thought to myself that it was like a classic Best Picture movie. I never did. Never did I think it was gonna be nominated for this many. I don't know if that just says that there's just not that many great movies out. Just
That
thinking
could
out
be a
loud.
problem too. I've heard of some of these. Or Hamnet, I've been hearing a lot about recently. I know you text me like Marty Supreme. Uh,
Yeah, what
that
the fuck is Marty Supreme?
I
Like, I
have
was like,
no
what?
idea. I
This
think
was
the
a bomb. And then I see it nominated for all these fucking awards, and I'm like, is this Timothy
Ch-
Chalamet again? Like
Chalamet,
trying to
yep,
fuck
yep, with Gwyneth
that
Paltrow,
new shit? Plays ping
and Fran
pong.
Drescher. Paul, Paul,
And Drescher.
yes, the nanny.
Like Train Dreams is fantastic, and I would nominate Train Dreams for like best cinematography of the year. The fact that it's like considered as best picture, I'm like, come on, that's not one of the best picture. I don't. It is beautiful and gorgeous, but I don't know. Like I don't know. Maybe there's just not that many options. I mean, I have my Sinners DVD or my Blu-ray. That's mine. Like that's my personal thing. Whatever. Um, I think I'm just not looking forward to the discourse from people when they're like, when it does win, they're like, "Oh God, this is like the worst movie I've ever seen. Why it could be the best picture?" It's like, ugh. That's another thing about it. Not to get on another tangent, but to talk about Oscars, it's that like in the early 2000s, movie opinions became really stupid, and then the internet came. I think this is talked about Jay and Silent Bob, like the first one, where I think they're looking at moviepoopshoot.com. People's opinions about movies being proliferated on the internet really fucking ruin movies. It's wrestling is the same thing. Like where all of a sudden people have opinions on online. Like just people's opinions about movies. Just shut the fuck up. Anyways, that's my tangent. But yes, I did see Sinners and I liked it. Thumbs up.
So, Soto, there's something else I did not even realize from this year's Academy Awards as I'm scrolling through this. I don't know this movie, One Battle After Another. That's
Oh yes,
nominated
Paul
for
Thomas Anderson.
13 awards,
Yes,
and
Paul
no
Thomas
one's talking
Anderson.
about this because Sinners has 16. 13 is
Yeah,
insane. And though,
dude,
I
and
mean,
yeah, that's a crazy amount for a PTA movie. Yep.
so yeah, that's kind of sad because like this movie, because again, I don't follow it, but again, I've been hearing Sinners, and I'm looking like, yeah, 13. I'm like, that would have been tied for first. Let's change our gears here, Soto. And let me ask you a what if, or what would Soto do? However you want to do this, word it, whatever, whatever.
Okay.
What would you do to help make the Academy Awards entertaining again? What would you personally do if someone said, Soto, we need some thoughts? Viewership is down. No one's caring. Movies are different. Do we need to make better movies? How can we make this presentation better? What are some things you think what would you do to make this entertaining so you would actually watch this again? Is there nothing that can happen? You're like, listen, it's just the way it is. I'll see who wins on TikTok or whatnot, or quick social media. But what would you do to maybe change things up a little bit so that it's entertaining for you?
I would probably this would never happen. Um, I would make it so that every movie that is at the Academy Awards is available in some sort of streaming ahead of the show, so that you could, if you had a choice, or if you were able to, you could watch every single thing that was nominated, and then you could sit there and have investment on everything that's going on. Because I don't know about you, but as a normal person, it's like I don't know half of these movies, so I don't care. So I'm not going to watch an Academy Award ceremony about movies I've never seen. I don't have any interest in this. Like I know the big ones, but I don't know these other ones and these other smaller like performances. I haven't had a chance to see it. So I would make it like mandatory that for a movie to be nominated at the Oscars and to have it win an award, that it would have to be available in some sort of streaming platform. I know that the rule used to be it had to be shown in theaters in either New York or LA. Well, guess what? I don't fucking live in New York or LA. But I want to be able to fucking have like a stake in what I'm watching. At least have the option to be like, oh, okay, cool. Like, oh, the Oscars, okay, they're coming out in March. All right, cool. Oh, okay. And then before the month before, they release all the movies on the streaming thing, and then you can watch it at your own pace so that you do your homework and everything. And then by the time the Oscars start, you are like completely educated. You have an opinion. You feel like you know who's gonna win, and off and running. I mean, I really care about the comedy sequences. I'm a big sucker for um, when they always showed like the nostalgia of movies and like why we fell in love with movies, I'm always a sucker for that shit because I love movies. That's why I liked La La Land, which had another mishap at the Oscars.
Mhm.
Um, so like, yeah, that's what I would do. That's what I would that's what would get me to personally watch the Oscars is that I have access to be able to see everything that's nominated ahead of the show. I don't want the show to tell me about a movie I've never seen before and then I have to go watch it 2 weeks later. I want to actually be watching the show and go, I really liked this movie. I think that Ellen Burstyn's performance in Requiem for a Dream is the best one this year of everybody that's seen, and I want to root for that. So that's how I would get myself to watch. I don't know if anybody else would based on those rules, but I feel like it would be much more interactive, and I would feel, and it'll never happen because of money making reasons and licensing and all that shit. But that's what would get me like allow me to know what the fuck is going on, and then I'll watch the show. And then I'll watch it 4 hours if I got to see everything,
And I can understand
including the
that.
shorts.
And you are correct. That's why, especially in like the 90s, 2000s, it was a little different. They try to put a movie in some theaters. I don't know if it had to be New York or LA, but like they say limited release, like end of the year, and then they have a full release in January or February, just because, yes, it has to have the initial release before December 31st to be considered for an Academy Award. And that's what they would do a lot, just put it in select theaters you hear that open nationwide, January 10th.
Hate
And
them.
I know voters who actually do the nominations and pick winners, um, they get physical copies of every movie that is nominated. Like it's sent to them. Yeah, I read this somewhere a long time ago because like you now I'm going to say this as a voter, but you are correct as a fan. But if you are voting on Best Picture, yes, if you're one of the Academy members, even if the movie has not come out physically, that studio has to send, because obviously they're going to want to send. For example, let's go to Sinners. They're like, oh, well, Sinners isn't coming out, and I know it's already come out, but like, oh God, the physical release isn't coming out till April. We need these voters to see this movie, so they'll send the physical release, so that way they can do their homework. So they
Mhm.
make the choices, whether it's I say correct or not, their opinion. But you're right, us as fans, because I in the '90s I went to movie theaters almost every week, sometimes twice a week.
Of course.
So I
What else
saw a
was there
lot of
to
shit,
do?
and that's why I'm like, like you're like, yeah, Crash it and when it, Brokeback Mountain, but whatever. It's my opinion. I'm not going to say I'm right or wrong, but we always had our opinion. So, but
Yes.
yeah, you know what I mean. But we see so many clips nowadays. So obviously the shorts and TikToks and stuff like that. But it'd be nice just be like, okay, these are the 10 Best Picture nominations. Let me be able to watch them. Because yeah, I'll get the results the following day. There's nothing I'm excited. I'll just be like, oh, Sinners won 12 or whatnot. And then they're like, oh, that woman won for Weapons. Good for her. First one in like 40 years or stuff like that. But outside of that, it's like, I don't know. There's people that's actors that won Academy Awards. Like, wait, I didn't know. So Macaulay Culkin, he has a younger brother, Kieran Culkin, who's done movies. He's an
Yes.
Academy Award winner. I forgot what movie he won, but I've seen that speech. I'm
What,
like,
last
was it just last year? I like,
was the one where he was like, "I want another kid," and
yes,
because
I've seen that,
yes,
and I learned that because it came across my TikTok. I'm like, oh shit, good for him. So many people have won, and I just don't care. And I just don't know if it's just because I give a shit about movies. I don't give a shit about movies anymore, or if it's just
Mm.
like you said, maybe is the quality down. I mean, like you've seen Sinners, Frankenstein. We talk about Train Dreams. You're like, yeah, they're good. It's the best picture. I don't know because I haven't seen the other seven.
Frankenstein. That's hilarious to me. Like that was a okay. I like Guillermo del Toro just like as much as anybody else does, but and it had some cool design. But dude, best picture of the year? Like we're talking about the fucking Oscars here. No, no, I did not think it was. No, that so maybe so yeah, we are old and maybe we think of whatever, but I mean movies are movies, they're timeless regardless of when they come out. Like when you see a good one.
Mhm.
And Frankenstein, oh, no, I don't even know the other ones.
All
I mean,
right,
I do want to see one battle after another though. I probably will see that this weekend.
so sort of
It's
before
too.
we end this, and I think this might prove our point, and maybe we're old, or maybe they were just better in the '90s because I know we talked. Well, no, because we did this whole series about which decade did films, and that maybe
Yeah.
we do that with Academy Award winning movies. But let me just bring up two
Ah,
things. 1997, the year Titanic, swept the nation.
yeah,
Won so many
sure did.
awards. Do you know what other movies were nominated for Best Picture that year?
No idea.
Get ready. Get ready. As Good as It Gets. If you remember that with Helen Hunt, Jack Nicholson.
I love that movie. So good.
The Full Monty,
Okay, no. I mean, I'm aware of it, but no.
Good Will Hunting,
Oh, yo,
L.A.
I understand
Confidential.
why it didn't win. Oh my god, dude! Like, Good Will
Stacked.
Hunting is a classic movie for me. That's amazing. LA Confidential was great. Full
I like Full
Monty. I never
Monty.
saw it.
Now let
British
me.
people get wasn't my thing.
Yeah, no, I liked it. I don't know if it was Best Picture, but I did remember liking it. I liked all those movies. I loved L.A. and we've talked about Good Will Hunting. Now one more, real quick. 1994, Forrest Gump winner. Now we've already talked about it
Huge.
was nominated against Pulp Fiction, but let me tell you the other movies it was up against.
Mhm.
Now this is probably the one that maybe not fit. Four Weddings and a Funeral,
Which I have never seen.
Quiz Show,
Oh, I haven't seen that either.
The Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, one of the all-time greatest movies.
Now, I've seen Quiz Show, and yes, it's based on a real life conspiracy theory about basically, rigging a quiz show in the '60s, and I think it's John Turturro and Ray Fiennes, I think is the other guy, and it's been a while since I've seen it, and I remember like, hey, this is good. And Four Weddings and a Funeral, Andy McDowell, I believe, and Hugh, like it was cute. It's a great romance. Again, kind of like maybe the film, maybe not on there, but it had such a good buzz around it. It was like, hey, we got nominated. But my point being, those are like stacked years. Like I've always said that.
Yeah,
And then I look at,
classic.
movies this year, and you even said it. Like when I said Frankenstein's nominated, you're like, really? Like, no movie that's nominated for Best Picture, you should go, what? Really? That doesn't build
Right.
confidence.
Yep.
So,
No. What are the other nominees this year? For the
uh,
best picture.
Ugonia, Emma
Oh,
Stone.
that's with yeah, Emma Stone. Yep. Well, I haven't seen
Um,
it, but I'm interested.
Here's the shocker one: F1 with Brad Pitt, car racing. Like no one
What?
expected. F1 got
Best
nominated.
picture?
Yeah, best
Okay.
nominated for Best
Yeah,
Picture.
I'll check it out. I mean, I saw the trailer. It looked cool. It didn't look like a best picture movie, but I'll check it out.
All right, we Frankenstein,
Yeah,
Hamnet,
saw that.
um,
I haven't seen
which is basically again
more
another
Shakespeare
William
too.
Shakespeare thing.
Oscar bait.
Marty Supreme, which we kind of just talked about.
Oh yeah,
Table
because
tennis
that
player,
like a burrito supreme, taco supreme. Sorry.
Marty Supreme. One battle after another, which you brought up. Another Paul Thomas Anderson, nominated for
Love it.
13. Sean Penn, DiCaprio. Wow, that's just a huge cast.
Yeah.
The
Yep.
Secret Agents.
No,
A neo-noir historical political thriller. It's not even an American film; it's a Brazilian film, I believe. Because
Oh,
yeah, I could. Sentimental Value.
no idea.
Don't really know. Elle Fanning's in it. That's all I quickly see. Obviously, we've been talking about Sinners, and then Train Dreams, which you've seen also. So
That was 10 movies?
that's our Begonio, F1,
Wow.
Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Sinners, Train Dreams. Those are your 10 movies up for Best Picture.
I see which ones are available. I gotta look into this shit.
Deep dive.
I gotta deep dive into this shit. I know Emma Stone is always trying to do some real good deep work acting wise, so I'm interested in that. But wow, I mean, they don't make them like they used to, huh?
No, I mean, but again, is it just us? Are we the old men? Like, they don't make the films like they did in the old days.
Back in my day, my movies were 3 hours long, but they were good.
All right. But you know what? We should do a follow up. So, you know what? When after the Academy Awards, if somehow we catch up on some of them, we can talk about it and be like, yep, are they still good? Are they important? We'll find out. You know, maybe we don't know.
As long as we both watch the movies.
Oh, that seems like a lot of work.
That's the new rule. That's the new rule. Like, we don't talk about movies unless we both have seen them.
Yeah, but we can talk about just the Academy. We'll see. We got time because this isn't until like March 15th. So we'll see what happens. Even if we don't follow up, that means, you know, we kind of prove our point that no one cares. We didn't care.
True. No one cares. No one.
They just went to their, the internet, be like, okay, these are the winners. Great. I think the most exciting thing, I think kids will lose their shit just because K-pop Demon Hunters is probably going to win Best Animated Film. That's going to be the one kids are going to be like, yeah.
Oh my god! And look, I'm all for it. And that song is nominated too. That Mind Virus song of Golden. That's going to be performed at the Oscars as well. Shit! Now I have to fucking watch the Oscars. God damn it!
We don't. No, you don't. So you are an adult. You are an adult that's capable of making his own decisions. You do not have to watch it if you don't want to. You don't have to. You can get the highlights the next day. Conan O'Brien is actually hosting, though, so maybe the opening monologue. Shit, we just got sucked in. Anyhow, that will do it for the South. The music's playing this out, so I guess we got to get off the stage now. So thank you. Goodbye. Love you, Mom.